आइए हम सुने विज्ञान की अनकही कहानियाँ। आइए हम सुने विज्ञान की अनसुनी कहानियाँ। एक नई दुनिया की आवाज़ आपकी आवाज़, विज्ञान की आवाज़ की आवाज़।
Vigyan Ki Awaaz podcast series are a part of the popularization of the STEM series, catalyzed and supported by the National Council for Science and Technology Communication, produced by Media for Community Foundation with content support from Kadal Osai FM 19.4 Community Radio and anchored by V. Krishnan. Our Indian scientists excel in their dedication and efforts in science and technology. To recognize the initiative and output of our indigenous researchers, we present Indian research stories to the masses through this podcast series. But before we meet the scientists in this episode, we want to ask you, have you heard of UTI? UTI stands for urinary tract infection. 99% of the population in India experiences at least one incident of UTI in their lifetime. And this affects both men and women, but definitely impacts women in their reproductive age group. UTI is an infection caused by microbes. These organisms are too small to be seen without a microscope. Most UTIs are caused by bacteria, but some are caused by fungi and in rare cases by viruses. UTIs are among the most common infections in humans. Today, we are going to meet a scientist who was part of the research team that developed the viral transport medium for COVID-19. Her team is now working on the validation study of urinary tract infection rapid diagnostic kit with antibiotic sensitivity. In this episode, let's meet Dr. Maya Nanda Kumar, Scientist G and Head, Division of Microbial Technology, Shri Chitrai Tirunal Institute for Medical Sciences and Technology. Dr. Maya Kumar joined as Scientist C in 1997 and established the Division of Microbial Technology. Dr. Maya Nanda Kumar.
I am Dr. Maya Nanda Kumar, a microbiologist. I did my MSc in medical microbiology from Faculty of Medicine, Mahatma Gandhi University, Kottayam, Kerala, and PhD from Center for Biotechnology, Anna University, Chennai, postdoctoral from Institute of Advanced Biomedical Engineering, Tokyo Women's Medical University, Tokyo, Japan. I head the Division of Microbial Technology here in Sri Chitrai Tirunal Institute for Medical Sciences and Technology, Trivandrum, Kerala. I head the division which is accredited by ISO 17025 for testing of medical devices and biomaterials. And the accredited tests that we do are sterility testing of all medical devices, biomaterials, bioburden analysis, which helps you to finalize the parameters of sterilization, and in vitro genotoxicity assays for newly developed materials.
As a listener, we are sure you will be inspired to learn about today's guest on this Vigyan Ki Awaaz podcast series. In addition to their testing activities, Dr. Maya Nanda Kumar and her team are developing a rapid diagnosis kit.
In addition to our testing activities, we are also into development of rapid diagnostic kits, specifically focusing on bacterial infections. We have already developed Rapidogram, rapid diagnostic kit for urinary tract infections, which gives you the antibiotic sensitivity starting from the 3rd hour onwards. A negative result comes in by the 6th hour onwards. The kit is so designed that it can be used across this country in any primary health center. The reading is done by observing change of color from green to yellow. This kit has already been transferred to Messrs. Agape Diagnostics. It has been validated by ICMR, and they have reported that the kit shows a sensitivity of up to 97%. Their only request to us is that we reduce the turnaround time from 6 to say 3 hours. We are doing that, and we will be finalizing those aspects also, so that we can go for commercialization. For commercialization, we have applied to CDSCO India.
There is a speciality about this product developed by Dr. Maya Nandakumar and her team. This simple kit not only diagnoses the infection but also determines antibiotic sensitivity. Dr. Maya Nandakumar, could you give us some insights on how this research is unique?
The kit doesn't need any high technology or highly trained manpower. It can be done by anybody who can follow instructions and look for change in color, which is visual. The change in color is from green to yellow. There is a control vial which tells you whether the patient has UTI, and there are vials containing antibiotics which will tell you which antibiotics can be used in treatment, and it is up to the consulting clinician to choose the appropriate antibiotic for the patient. Today, for diagnosis of urinary tract infections or UTI in short, you have to approach a microbiology laboratory, which is usually available only in big hospitals and medical colleges. And after giving your urine sample, you have to wait for 48 to 75 hours to get the result and start therapy. And so usually doctors do empirical treatment, and this leads to development of antibiotic resistance, or what we commonly call as multiple drug resistance. And today this has become a menace, and treatment becomes very difficult. This kit will start giving you the antibiotic which are sensitive and can be useful in treatment from the 3rd hour onwards in case of patients having UTI. And the beauty of this kit is it can be used by anybody who can follow instructions. It is not high technology kit, and it can be used anywhere in this country from a primary health center. All that you need is an incubator which is at 37 degrees centigrade. Currently, the rapid diagnostics that we have today is all high technology, high cost equipments produced by leaders in the field like Biomirix, example the Vitec. But in all this, you need highly trained personnel for using it, because the first step always involves culture, which only a trained microbiology laboratory and trained microbiology personnel can do. In this, we do not need that. So for a country like India, which is where there is resource constraint, you can very well use this. And also it will prevent development of multiple antibiotic drug resistance.
Thank you, Dr. Maya Nandakumar, for keeping the explanation simple. Following the uniqueness of the Rapid UTI Diagnosis Kit, please share with us your past, present and future areas of study.
Okay, when I joined this institute, I was given the task of developing the Department of Microbiology to meet the research demands in the field of medical device development. I established the Division of Microbial Technology and ensured that it got accredited by ISO 17025 for testing and calibration laboratories, so that our test reports are accepted world over. But at the same time, I have focused on medical device related infections, which is a fallout of use of medical devices in healthcare delivery, especially implantable medical devices. It can be as simple as the vascular catheters, the urinary catheters, and even your contact lenses. Today, because of the technological improvement, contact lenses do not give rise to recurrent keratoconjunctivitis, which was the problem initially. All this has come because of the development in the area of medical device infections and its alleviation. The other focus area of my department and myself is looking at the trigonal interaction between the medical device or the biomaterial on one side, the host or the patient on the other side, and the bacteria on the third side. Because when we look at the scenario of medical device infections, we find that most of the time it is caused by commensal flora within the human body itself. So it becomes critical to understand these trigonal interactions. Now, the area of nanotechnology, nanomaterials is fast escalating, and many nanomaterials are having lot of industrial significance and is being manufactured. Carbon black nanoparticle is one such, and India and Asian countries are the largest manufacturers of carbon black. Also, carbon black is a major pollutant of the environment, and this gets into the human system through the respiratory tract and the food chain. And once they enter the system, they are capable of modifying the immune responses. Also, they are capable of modifying the virulence factors of bacteria. So, complete understanding of how nanomaterials will behave, not only towards bacteria, increasing its virulence, but also its impact on the immune system. Some of our studies from our department, a PhD thesis also has evolved from that, show that they are capable of down-regulating immune responses, up-regulating fibrosis, by which you tend to lose your organ functions. And one of the facts that we have seen because of this particular activity is the high rates of mortality and morbidity in all our major cities where pollution has been a factor during the COVID pandemic. Okay, so I am at present, my division is focusing on these interactions.
Through this podcast, we learnt about carbon black nanoparticles, a conductive, non-polluting powder produced via high temperature carbonization. Applications for carbon black nano powder include electronics, plastics, coatings, inks, and green technology. Let us now hear from our scientists about India's current ranking in this particular area of research.
India is actually in the forefront along with all other technologically advanced countries, but they are all focusing on development of nanomaterials as therapeutic agents, as diagnostic tools, and really not looking at the impact it will have on infectious disease-causing organisms and also the immune responses in the human population. And it is in this area that we are working. There are a few groups, especially microbiological groups across the globe, who are doing work in this area. We are also on par with them.
The Biomedical Technology Wing of Sri Chitrai Tirunal Institute for Medical Sciences and Technology has been instrumental in establishing medical devices industry base in India. Dr. DrMaya Kumar shares about the association of industries with rapid kit for UTI diagnosis and other developments.
The rapid diagnostic kit Rapidogram for urinary tract infections has already been transferred to Agape Diagnostics, and once we get the final CDSU approval, we will be going for commercialization. Already ICMR validation and all is over.
That's great. Can you also tell us a little more about your patrons, your research papers, publications and awards you have received?
As of now, 4 patents, and also during the COVID times when everywhere there was a dearth of viral transport medium and kits for collecting nasal samples. The chief minister had approached our director for help, and I was roped in, and we developed the viral transport medium also, which was commercialized to 3 different industries in this country, and it is one of the best viral transport mediums available in the market. I hold 4 patents for all the products that have been commercialized from the division of microbial technology along with my department personnel.
As we near the end of this episode, we hope that you not only have gained more knowledge about UTI and the amazing works of our indigenous researchers, but are also proud of our country's growth in the Department of Science and Technology. Now let's hear from Dr. Maya Nandakumar how she feels about being part of our Vigyan Ki Awaaz series.
I believe that Department of Science and Technology is on the right path. Till date, scientists have occupied a realm which is actually not perceived by the common man. Okay. This activity of the Department of Science and Technology, the Government of India, will see that science is understood and reaches the common man, and they feel proud of the achievement of their scientists. Thank you.
Vigyan Ki Awaaz podcast, a part of STEM popularization, catalyzed and supported by the National Council for Science and Technology Communication, produced by Media for Community Foundation with content support from Kadal Osai FM 90.4 Community Radio and hosted by V. Krishnan. Bye for now. We look forward to your participation in the next episode. Thank you for listening.